Hello friends, I'm Ashley and today I'm going to do a little book unhaul. Sparkle, sparkle, sparkle. So I think I have only about like 11-ish books. One of these books I fought with myself trying to get rid of it because I was like, I'm never going to read this book again. I didn't like it. Like, why am I keeping it? If it's pretty, it shouldn't just stay because it's pretty. So the first two books are the first two books in a series, and that is A Court of Thorns and Roses and A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. And I'm only getting rid of these because I recently got the hardbacks in them. I do not trust that this will last a long time. This was like one of those really hard hardbacks that you could not even like open it. You know, you have to like bend the first page just to be able to read the words. It should not be this flappy. The spine is like horribly broken, even though you really can't see. You really can't tell. I feel like I have one more time reading this book before it just falls apart on me. Like, a few of the pages are loose in the back and it's just time to get rid of it, you know? So if your name is Brenda, I want you to stop watching this video right now. If your name is not Brenda, you can continue. But I am getting rid of Twilight and New Moon by Stephanie Meyer. I'm getting rid of this because, okay, I guess I'm like a fake Twilight fan. I was very much a movie Twilight fan girl. I just read this book for the first time ever back in December, and it wasn't the best time, to say the least. So much so that I never even read this. I got these at Goodwill for like, I don't know, I think it was like $2 each. They're gonna go to a donation somewhere else. Like, I just don't, I'm like, I'm never gonna read them again. I hated what happened, and like I said, I was a movie fan. Movie fans only, except for Breaking Dawn Part 2, because what the was that? So this next book is just a painting on glass stones book. I got this in like a little kit that had these like glass beads in it, and like, I don't need to know how to paint on stones, like, and the paint that came with it was like the worst thing ever. I just ended up using acrylic paint. I don't need this. I'm never gonna look at it. I'm never gonna use it, so goodbye. This next book, I am embarrassed to say that I literally don't know a thing about it. You can see it was $1. One single dollar. I cannot get that sticker off. I know how many times I've tried. I literally bought it because it was $1, and then I found out it was book 2 in a series, and I just like couldn't be bothered to try and find book 1 and read it. And I just like kind of hate the cover like a lot. Like, I don't know, it just looks ugly. I hate it. So I want to get rid of it. I'm never going to go and find the first book to read it. I'm never going to read this, and just wasting space on my shelf that I have no space for books already. So this next book, again, is only $1. Again, I can't get that sticker off. I can't get it off. But it's a Vampire Diaries book. I read the books like a couple years ago, and I enjoyed them. Like, I read like the first 4 books. There's like 18, how many books are in that series? I don't know. Like, it goes on for a little too long, in my opinion. But I read the first 4 books regardless, and I really enjoyed them. But I know I'm not gonna ever read this. If I want Vampire Diaries, I'm 100% going to watch the show. The characters in here were really strange. Like Klaus in the books, so different from Klaus in the show. But yeah, I'm just like, want to get rid of it because I just don't care. I just don't care anymore, you know? So this next book is Eggs by Jerry Spinelli. I don't know really why I bought this. I remember thinking like at a time I had to read like boring books to to be considered a reader, and I got halfway through this book and I was like, what is this? What is this book? I don't know. I just like, I read it and I didn't want to continue to read it, and it was weird. It was weird. Goodbye. So the next book is The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. I read this when the movie came out, which was a long time ago, and I don't feel like I'm gonna ever read it again, especially because as more and more time goes on, the more and more like I hate reading contemporaries, and I just feel like society has moved past John Green, you know, like there are better people in the world that are writing contemporaries now, you know what I mean? So now we're getting to the last 4 books, and this one is the Speak graphic novel. I recently read this in a video. Recently, that was like 2 months ago, whatever. Anyway, as I said in that video, I think this book did a lot for its time. If you don't know what it's about this girl that gets sexually assaulted, but like nothing really happens to the rapist other than she like stands up to him at the end, which is like always good, but like no repercussions finds him, and I didn't appreciate that. Like she's still made out to be a liar, it seems like, at the end. There was like a bunch of girl hate in this, and there was also this like storyline of this black boy having to record his racist teacher and how she like saw him as a hero. She was like, oh, he's so brave for standing up to his racist teacher, and it's like, girl, he's your teacher too. You could have done like literally anything, I feel like this is definitely a book of its time, and they probably should have updated it when they did the graphic novel. I don't know. I think maybe it'll mean something more to someone else, and it's going to go find a new home. So this next book is the book that I have a hard time parting with because I am a fairy tale girl, and this is an Alice in Wonderland retelling, and that is the Hazelwood by Marissa Albert. I still have a hard time, like I still can't believe I'm getting rid of this. Like, look how pretty that is. Gorgeous, beautiful, stunning. This book had like a really good start, and I feel like it could have went any other way that it did at the end. Has a book ever made you feel empty? Like that's literally what happened in this book. It made me feel empty and sad, and I was just very upset. Oh my god, it's just so pretty. And like I said, I'm a big fairy tale girl. I love fairy tales, and I love fairy tale retellings, especially Alice in Wonderland retellings, but I just gotta get rid of it. I had a horrible time with this book. I shouldn't keep it. It's just taking up space that I do not have, and I'm going to get rid of it. I'm strong. I can do this. So this next book is like a bit controversial that I'm getting rid of, I guess, but that is A Darker Shade of Magic by V. Schwab. I have tried to read this book probably 4 times, and each time I DNF it at like the exact same spot. I just can't do it. Like, I cannot do it. I'm not a fan of the writing style, and honestly, the magic system, I know this is like blasphemy for some people, but like I find it very boring personally. I don't care about jumping worlds. If you don't know what this is about a boy that can jump between worlds, which is like Black London, Grey London, White London, and like Red London or something. And the characters were so annoying to me. I couldn't do it. I'm sorry to anyone who likes this book, but like I just couldn't. So we're at the last book. Woo! The last book is Sleeping Beauties by Stephen King. I am not really a horror person. Like, I read those like parody horror books by Grady Hendrix, and still like those hit me kind of hard because I just like, I'm not a horror person in general. I literally bought this because of the name, Sleeping Beauties. I've always loved the Sleeping Beauty story. I know that's like, people don't like the story, but I do. I like it, and I love Maleficent. Like, I love Maleficent. So when I saw this, I was like, oh, cool, fun. But I bought this like 4 years ago. 4 years ago. I've never read it, and I never plan to read it. And like the more and more time goes on, like I just don't want to read it because like Stephen King keeps opening his mouth, and it's like, maybe you shouldn't be allowed to have a Twitter. Maybe you should just apologize and realize that you're wrong and stop saying the things that you're saying. It would make the life of a lot of people easier. But I just like don't need it. I don't need it. And it's like really big. Why would I choose this to be my Stephen King book to read? Like, okay, I know why. I got it at a bargain store. It was very cheap. I just have no want to read this book. Like none. Like not a single drop of motivation to read this. And that's that. So those are all the books. I'm sorry. I just feel like I'm wasting space with books that I don't ever want to touch again. I want to only keep books that I know I'm gonna reread, you know? But I don't really know what else to say. As I usually don't. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'm gonna go sleep because I sleep when I'm not in front of the camera. Goodbye.